Hi there. I did say before that I was going to talk about some of the things that interested me at photokina this year, and hopefully, this is it. Before I do that, today, Friday, Photo Friday, a couple of items came to me from Panasonic. When I bought this camera, the camera that I'm shooting this on right now, they had an offer on if you buy this camera, big expensive camera, you get some free gifts. So I got this, which is the battery grip for the camera. I'll open it later. And I also got the most exciting bit, this thing. It is the Panasonic Lumix Leica Summilux 25mm f1.4 lens. I've got a feeling this is going to be on the camera for most of the time, but can't wait to open this either. Anyway, so photokina is basically a big photo show that happens every 2 years over there in Cologne in Germany, and being the big show that it is, it is on sometime during the first week of September, all the big names in photography usually turn up there, show something. Some of them even try to announce new products at that event. There weren't that many new products announced this year. Certainly the big names in camera, Canon and Nikon, only had 1 or 2 items each, and that were one or two items that were of interest to me, i.e. cameras. Nikon had the D750 model, which is a new model. Somewhere it sits between the D800 and the D610. Full frame DSLR with a tilting screen. Apparently that's the only real difference. From what I've heard, it is a very good camera. Well, it would be for £2,000. Canon had virtually nothing really of any real interest to me. As a Canon user, I'm disappointed at, well, as a previous Canon user, I'm disappointed at their lack of interest in the new world of cameras, specifically mirrorless cameras. But they did have the 7D Mark II to show off, and basically it's a 7D with a 2 beside it. Yeah, it's not, on paper it doesn't look that big an improvement of the previous model, and having had to go with the previous model, it is a very good camera, even though my friend who has one thinks it's the worst camera she's ever owned. Personally, I think it's an excellent camera, but then what do I know? Quite a lot, actually. Samsung announced the NX1, which is a large mirrorless system camera aimed at the high-end enthusiast, maybe even professional photographer. It's a big camera, and it's a smart camera as well. It is an interesting camera. The downside is not many lenses for it, because a whole brand new system. So, but yeah, mirrorless cameras basically Panasonic, Olympus, Sony, and Samsung appear to be the only people taking it properly seriously. Lomo announced a new camera. So if you know the Lomography thing, that little Lomo camera, well, basically they've announced a medium format version of that. So same thing as before, only in medium format size. So they made the camera bigger, and it just looks weird to me. But yeah, Fujifilm announced the Fuji X100T, which is basically the third model of the X100 line. Improved everything, I understand. Apparently the viewfinder is a bit better than it was before. Not that it was bad before, it was very good before, but now they've added some extra tweaks. The focusing is faster and all that sort of thing, and it's a very lovely camera, and I want one, but I can't afford one. Leica had some new cameras to show off. They had you got the Leica S and the Leica M. Leica also introduced the Leica M60, which is the 60th anniversary camera of Leica. Leica is 60 years old this year apparently. So the new camera is all about that, and the special edition camera is what's it? Let's have a look. Comes with a specially designed 35mm f1.4 lens to match the champagne-ish titanium body colour of the body. Unlike the other M camera, there's no screen on the back, so it's just a camera with a viewfinder, and you can't see the pictures until you take the card out of the camera and plug it into your computer. So a bit like in the old days when they used to use film. The M60 will be made in very limited numbers and will cost you €15,000. There's a good chance that it's too late to get hold of one now, because chances are they'll all have been snapped up by Leica collectors, and will have a space all ready for them in the display cabinet. Because who's going to take photographs with a special edition £15,000 camera, €15,000 camera? I would, but I'm a photographer. That's what I do. Leica also announced the MA camera, which is a film camera designed to look very like the Leica M3 from back in the 50s. Not sure why they did this, but if you like using film and you want to use a brand new Leica, now's your chance. Panasonic announced two new models, the Lumix GM5, which is a replacement slash companion model for the GM1. Improvements on the GM1, the GM5 has a built-in viewfinder and a hot shoe, so you can put a flash on top of it. In fact, it has a hot shoe because the viewfinder occupies a space that was occupied by the flash before, so now you have to have a little separate flash to put on the top if you want to use flash. They also announced the LX100, which is a high quality compact camera with a 4/3 sensor inside of it. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing this camera. We should have some in the shop soon, end of this month. And even though it's barely hit the shops, Panasonic has reduced the price of that camera. Last month when they announced it, it was £799. This week it's £699. So yeah, those of you who didn't wait to buy one, I'm still looking forward to seeing this camera. If I'm very lucky, I may be owning one by this time next year. I'm always a year behind on these things. Well, that's it for me. Those are the things that stood out for me at photokina. Lots of other things were announced. There's plenty of places on the internet that you can look for yourself and see the other new stuff that was announced, such as Kodak announced announced their new Micro Four Thirds camera, which is basically a camera made by somebody else with the Kodak name on the front of it, and it looks like it was made back in the late 1990s. Yeah. Anyway, lots of other things. My standout cameras of the show to me would be the LX100, the Panasonic Lumix LX100, and the Samsung NX1. Certainly I think two of the best in their respective categories, in my view. Did you see anything at photokina that interested you, if anything? Yeah, leave a note down below. I'll put some links in the doobly-doo below so you can check out some of these things for yourself. So this is Photo Friday, first Photo Friday of October, and I'll see you the next one.